from the gridiron to the hardwood. That seems to be our transition for whatever reason, but this is more of a national thing. Doesn't really affect the Pistons too much, but that's okay. Even though Mr. Westbrook was mentioned as coming to the Pistons, rumored a few times.
Oh, gosh.
You know, Russell Westbrook, I think, is getting a bad rep. Okay? And now listen, hold on a second.
Jerry Jacobs, strap myself in. All right,
hold on.
ahead.
Yeah, but listen. I was in your shoes. Well, anytime he was mentioned to the Pistons, I was like, no way. But at the same time, I'm sitting here thinking and wondering, like, is he really the problem with the Lakers?
No.
Or was, because Russell Westbrook was traded from the Lakers to the Utah Jazz. The Jazz are now buying out his contract, and it is rumored and reported that his agent said that he's going to be signing with the Clippers, that is going to be reuniting him with Paul George. Now, what I say is about him getting a bad rap is I don't think he was the problem with the Lakers.
Okay. All right.
That's what I think that he got that bad rap. Like, listen, there was a lot of issues with Oklahoma City and all. Like, I get that, okay? But he was not the problem in LA. Sure, he didn't fit with LeBron, but LeBron's the one that wanted him on the team. That's not Russell's problem.
Yep.
Okay? He kind of became the odd man out. Now he's going to eventually end up with the Clippers. Right now, I mean, literally playing in the same arena as the Lakers at this point. What do you think of him reuniting with Paul George?
I like it. I will say this, though. Russell Westbrook for the past 10 years has been my least favorite player in the NBA. I don't like Russell Westbrook at all. I've never seen a player take momentum away from a team as much as Russell Westbrook did. I've never, like the OKC days where he would come down and KD's heating up or Harden's heating up, and then here comes Russ, 100 miles an hour, just playing terrible basketball on his own. But I do like this fit for the Clippers. They get rid of Reggie Jackson. Well, they get rid of Reggie Jackson, who's now with the Nuggets. And they have a good flow with Terrence Mann in the backcourt as their point guard next to Paul George. So they don't have to necessarily start Russell Westbrook. He can go back to the bench like he was just doing with the Lakers. Now, rumored is that he wants that to be a part of the reason that he comes there, which, again, it still could happen. But with this team, with the firepower they have a lot of guys that can get a lot of good rotational minutes on this team. And with Tyronn Lue, I think he'll probably be the best coach that Russ has ever played for, because everybody else has let him get away with whatever he wanted to do. Every coach. I think Ty Lue reels that in. I think Paul George reels that in, who's a friend of his. Kawhi, who's looking to be another champion. Like, they're not far, even in a tight Western Conference, which is separated between like 3-4 games.
Tight. Yeah, I got it right here. So they are the number 4 seed right now. So they're pretty firmly into the playoffs. They're, I think, 5 games back of the number 1 seed. Okay. But they only have a 2.5 game lead over the number 9 seed. So they very easily could play themselves out of a playoff spot. And so the question becomes, like, does this become a distraction? Like, Westbrook not being a problem in LA with the Lakers, like, that wasn't his fault. Still doesn't necessarily excuse everything that you were just talking about, right? Because I agree with you that, you know, why did he average a triple-double for a season? Well, because he never really passed the ball and he doesn't play defense, right? It's kind of like a one-man show in a lot of ways, which we talked about the NBA product and how it's all clear-outs and one-on-ones at this point anyway. Does that become a problem for the Los Angeles Clippers? It does if they start him right away, in my opinion.
Yes.
If he walks in from day one and he's penciled into the starting lineup, you're looking at a situation where this team is going to play themselves out of a playoff berth.
Absolutely.
If he comes in and goes to the bench, and he was not, I don't have the numbers right in front of me, and I should have, but off the bench in LA, he was still averaging
close to a triple-double.
Good, number, yeah. But defensively, he's a problem.
Yep.
As, and that's an issue. I think for the Clippers, it's going to be really interesting. Paul George, he did comment on it, and he was kind of like, yeah, I think it would improve our team for sure, but if it doesn't happen, we have the guys to make it happen.
Right.
So he was kind of like blasé about the whole thing, right? He's like, yeah, it'd be great, but also maybe not.
Also,
I don't really know what to make of those comments. Like, he goes out of both sides of his mouth. Like, yeah,
bit.
bring them, but also maybe don't bring them. I don't really know.
The good news is kind of good news because it kind of puts him on a short time window because the Clippers are 33-28, so they only have 21 games left to play this second half.
Right.
Second half, because it's post All-Star break. They consider the second half, which we'll talk about in a second. But at this point, they only need him to be on his best behavior, so to speak, for 20 games.
Right.
Then once the postseason comes, where they got to play their best ball, and a lot of those guys ratchet it up and play very solid, disciplined basketball, I think the Clippers can still be in a good spot. I don't think they're favorites now with Russ, but they could be a sneaky dark horse team around where they are.
Yeah, well,